Welcome back. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe as usual. I really appreciate it. Today I am building accessory racks for the buggy. Not a lot of real estate and a lot of stuff to carry. Next little project on the buggy. Got myself this cool little plate I made. I cut a groove and I broke it. This was for another experiment on a winch mount. Now it's really going to be a winch mount. So this is going to be the mounting plate for the rear suck down winch, except mine's also going to be able to be used for recovery because the narrow drum winch that I figured out how to do on that M8000, the first one I did, I'm going to set it up for the rear. Once I get that winch in, then I can start working on my cooler racks and tool racks and everything else. But I kind of need to know where our winch is going to go, and I decided if I can fit it, why not use a winch that will actually do some recovery from the back end too. So that's what I'm going for now. Now I've got it mapped out so I can drill the holes. Then I'll determine where I want to put the fairlead hole. Now I got a fence set up so I can run my plasma cutter across it, and then I'll freehand the radius. There we are, a little close-up of what I got. Like I said, I'll clean these edges up a little bit. Since I don't have a real break, I cut the metal and then break it, and now I have to weld that seam back together on the inside so that it still has some strength to it. All right, now that I know where this winch is gonna live, I'll mount the winch, and then I can start building my racks and stuff up here. And there we are. I just bolted it in temporarily. Now I'll probably change this idea here. I think I'll recess some flats because this is pretty darn close tolerances in here. Something you want to think about when you're building one of these buggies is where you're going to keep things. Outside of building the buggy itself and making it work, there's a lot of things you want to think about as you're doing this. For instance, a cooler. What size of cooler do you want and where do you want to put it? If you wait till the buggy is all finished, you end up, using ratchet straps to tie it down, and it's above the roll bar or it's in your line of vision, things like that. So there's some things that you want to plan out as you are building this buggy. Obviously, you want your function first, then your creature comforts. Not a lot of creature comforts in a buggy, but like I said, the cooler. I do want to carry some hard parts, so I need a watertight container for things like, I like carrying an extra U-joint. I like carrying a serpentine belt, a couple pieces of fuel line hose, maybe a section of hydraulic hose so I can repair that on the trail or splice one. Some electrical pieces, wire connectors, things like that. So I want to be able to put that in the buggy and not have to worry about it. Tools wise, I generally just carry hand tools. A lot of people are carrying, their electric impacts and stuff, which I like. If you have room, I would carry those too. But I think to be a little more prudent on the room I have, I think I'm either going to use a bag that I can tie to something or a tool roll that I can attach to the buggy somewhere. Aside from that, first aid kits, things like that. But I like planning that stuff out, building tabs, building the racks, building the mount before it's an afterthought. By hand, made myself a little rectangle. Used my cooler as the template. That way I know it'll actually fit. Now I'm just getting my last little bits of angles. That should work. All right, of course it's not going to be a perfect square, but that's okay. It's rounded. Once it's all locked in, you'll never notice it. I'm going to use vertical pieces to hold it above the rack I'm building in the back. But part one, I'm using a 2x4 as the base because I don't want to actually have this thing riding on top of the fuel cell, number one. And with the second problem that would arise is I've also got a fuel pickup and fuel lines coming out. I don't want to run into a problem with lines. Now, the fuel cap is over here and this 2x4 is about 1/4 inch higher. So my cooler is going to sit here. That rack will be up a little bit higher, but it's going to be behind me because I want to be able to look over my shoulder and see the right rear tire. I can already see the front two tires, and no matter what I do, I'll have to use a mirror to see this left rear tire unless I can turn my neck far enough. So I'm going to set this cooler over here. Now the cooler is going to go over the top of the fill valve. So what I want to make sure is when I run these braces across, I can reach down and undo the fuel cell without the cooler in the vehicle. Now, I kind of wanted to put the cooler over that because it hides that fill cap a little bit. And I don't want that to walk away if I'm at a campsite or if my trailer's parked somewhere. I just don't want it to be seen as easy. So that's kind of one of my ideas there. So now I'm going to get a couple of cross pieces and I'll figure out how to install those. Now, one thing to remember, all of this stuff I'm putting in here has to unbolt. I can't permanently weld it because I have to be able to get the fuel cell out. And it ain't gonna go out through the bottom. So I'm gonna start in the middle and start making my bends as I go out. I think that'll work a little bit easier. I'm just bending this all by hand. I kind of start this in a free-form type deal. I'll make many changes in it before I'm finally finished. And when I'm finally finished, it's just what I'm happy with. And that's just kind of the direction I go with it. Everything else from here back, I'll build a second one. And then I'll have some stuff to hold that other piece of the rack up at the correct height. So I got the cross pieces. Now got a couple little bends in these, but that's easy to straighten out. Now I got to put some cross bracing. I'm using angle iron to use on the cross bracing. That way it'll give it a lot of rigidity and strength on top of those flat pieces. One of my favorite things to kind of do when I'm building stuff is just start an idea and just see where it goes. So I started with those two flat pieces for a rack in the back. Well, I figured out if I turn my cooler sideways, I can get to it easier from the driver's side of the vehicle instead of having to climb over the back. So I decided to go ahead and do that. Then that gave me room next to the cooler to mount 2 of these 50 caliber ammo boxes, and I absolutely really like ammo boxes because they're watertight, and I don't have to make them, and I don't have to spend a bunch of money on custom stuff. So my goal here is to build this square, and I don't get too critical with the corners and the gaps and things like that, because you fill it in with weld anyway and kind of clean it up. So it'll work just fine. We'll get it lined up pretty close anyway. And cross measure and things like that. I'll tack it in the corners, adjust, and then I'll put a partition down. Now, these boxes will bolt into the bottom of this tray. This tray is going to do 2 things. First thing, it'll hold the boxes, but it's also going to create a bunch of rigidity in the 2 straps I put across. You can verify and adjust it being square if you cross measure corner to corner. Now I've got a base, 2 ammo boxes fit in there, and the base for my cooler I kind of made the same shape as here. So the top part will slide into here, create some kind of a tie down, I guess. Probably a good idea, huh? Now I'm just going to cut some pieces to connect the upper basket, which is a little looser than the lower basket, keep it from knocking over. And got that tacked in. Now I will pull the cooler out, weld all this together, and then I got to figure out what I want to do for a hold down. I just used this to tie up my basket while I was figuring it out. Once everything was tacked together in the unit, pull it out, weld everything together. That's when I figure out I want to change stuff and have to cut it back apart. All right, upper part of the cooler mount is on. Mounts for the ammo cans are on. These are all fully welded now. I do still have a piece that will come up and tie into the rear crossbar to stabilize the center. It should hold plenty of weight, and it'll be fairly low profile. Went ahead and welded a couple of these threaded tabs to use as tie-down anchors for the cooler. Now I can either put an eyelet in there and run like a ratchet strap, or I can bolt a small seat belt in there, something of that sort. So I've got one of those on each side. And again, gussets on little areas. Just take some of the flex out. Got the rack just basically bolted in, no washers or lock nuts, but it's in so I can put the cooler and the boxes in, make sure everything else fits, and then fit stuff around it. Can't ask for much better than that. That fits really well. They open from the front, flip back. Decided instead of leaving the weird curve back here, I went ahead and did what I did on the fronts. I ran the straight bar, and then I used the little gusset I made underneath, just looped it up. It's strong, gives me someplace else to tie stuff to. Just thought it looked better, so I went ahead and you can see from the other angle. Just changes the look a little bit. If you've been watching my channel, I do a lot with stuff that I already have laying around. If you remember the basket I built for the wrecker for the chain tray, I found a use for the other part of it. And that's how the rack fits. Good to hold a tool roll or something like that. Extra soft cooler things. Now I'm going to possibly weld the oil box here. I'm not positive yet, so I'm just gonna let it sit there for a while I think about it. As I'm going, I'm trying to make little accessories. I do want a brake light, tail light. I don't need turn signal, so I'm only gonna put one of these on. And I think I'll start and see if I like this, and I may or may not, but this is what I'm going to start with, is just an aluminum panel set in here, and we'll go from there because I don't know if this is what I want to do yet or not, but I got enough scrap. May as well give it a shot. Looks pretty good. These aren't the right screws, but I have to take it apart anyway. Clean up the aluminum, and I'm sure I'll have to repaint this eventually. But I can set this here for now, and now I'm going to start working on other parts I want to set back here. Quick side note too, these tabs I built for this rack, these bolts are in the perfect location for the rear driving lights. So that one's already solved now. Well, this is my rear lighting assembly for the buggy. Park, brake, left signal, right signal. Don't know if I'll ever use them, but they're there if I do. Another part of the rack I'm building is a place to mount a carrier for 5 quarts of fluid. Anytime you roll one of these things, you tend to be looking for fluids. So I want to be able to carry at least a quart or 2 of oil, a quart or 2 of transmission fluid, and a quart of power steering fluid. Now I would carry coolant too, but as most of you know, if you're carrying water, and in a pinch you can just dump water in the radiator. But I'm hoping, because I'm so limited on real estate in this, that no more than a 5-quart oil container is all I'll need. This one was built by a private individual. He did a real nice job, and it's steel. I wanted steel and not aluminum because I want to be able to weld it, paint it, and mount it to steel. So That's kind of where I'm at on this one. All right, I think everything clears. I've got plenty of room between the radiator in case something hits it. I've got room I can get shock bolts out. I've got my mount for my light underneath. I think I'll just run a couple of beads and I will be done with this part of the project. Like everything else on this buggy, everything fits tight, so I may have to trim just a hair on this side over here. That's okay, I'd rather have it sit in a little bit. Otherwise it fits absolutely beautiful. Kind of like it. Well, that's going to do it for this little project. Please like, share, and subscribe again. I do appreciate it. Now, off to four-wheeler. Well, it's ladies' day on the trail today. The girls took over the driver's seats, and some of these ladies drive all the time. Some of them drive rarely at all, but they all did today. straight there. Go passenger now. Not too far, a little bit that way. Okay, right there. Start coming forward.
Okay, wait, I gotta talk to myself. Okay, keep going?
Keep going, nice and slow.
No, I want to go back.
Just hold the wheel in that position, it's perfect. Okay, a little bit that way now. Keep going. Okay, you can go passenger. Passenger. Yep. Nope, nope, nope. Turn passenger. It's gonna slide, it's okay. Nope, keep it passenger. Okay, just hold it in that position and start climbing. It'll go right up. It's just gonna feel icky.
Hey, now come this way.
A little bit passenger.
Come back towards me a little bit. Stay towards me.
You're good now, passenger.
Now stay in it and start going passenger. Go.
You're good.
Hey,
Keep
driver.
the driver. There you go.
Hey, driver.
Just hold it in that position for a minute. Keep it driver. Don't turn back into it. Hold it in driver. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, feels like crapola, huh? Yeah, just come on up. Yeah, if you're high enough, it'll stay in now. Yeah, hard passenger.
Nicely done.
Keep coming. Okay, straighten it out a little bit. No, that's too far. Come forward. Okay, need to come this driver a little bit. And then get your rear tire right there. So
If I'm lined up correctly for that.
it looks like you are. Just keep it driver for now.
Right.
There. See if it climbs. Nope. Slid off the other way now. You can back up now. It's in a real good spot. Keep going forward.
I'm going slow.
I know. Woohoo! You're through. Yeah.
Okay, now straighten up. Now just nice and easy from this way. Nice and easy, babe.
Can't see you.
Nice and easy.
You're
Come
good.
my way. Stay
Keep
my
it
way a
fast.
little bit. Come on. Got it. Stay my way.
Now straighten it so you don't hit this. There you go. Coming forward. Barely clip this one.
Hey, just nice and easy throttle control, okay?
It's gonna climb now. Really nice line. That's really good.
Just nice and easy throttle control. Stay right like that. Come to me a little bit if you can.
You're good. Yeah.
Now, hey,
Straight up.
there you go. Hey,
Woohoo! First one and done. That's it.
that's it. What a joker.
After this obstacle, we just started calling her one shot. I don't think she used reverse all day long.
All right, baby.
Got a little air on that left rear. Little driver. There you go. That's it. Not too much. Nice. Okay, straighten out.
Throttle control, nice and easy. Stay just like that. Keep coming. Stay that way.
Definitely drives
Okay,
like she means it.
just stay with it. Stay driver. Stay driver.
It's coming.
Stay with it. You got it. There you
Yeah.
go.
Nice. That looked cool too.
You go that way. Just kind of stay up on this rock if you're going to ride that way. Turn into it. Turn into it. There you go. Now just throttle control, nice and easy. There you go. Stay into it. There you go.
Hard passenger. Just hold it there and see if it climbs. And once you start coming up, see if it rolls through. Go. Yes. Keep going. Oh, it's coming. Go. Okay, now a little passenger.
Now what?
A little bit passenger. That's good. Just hold that line. You can drive right up.
Straighten it out? Or?
No, keep it. It looks great. Nice.
That was a little too much gas, but that's okay.
Now you can either go high on this one or go onto that one.
driver? With the back tire?
You just
I can't see what's under there.
you're fine backing up. You can back up wherever you want to go there. I was just thinking if you want to back up a little bit more. There you go. And now go hard, kind of come up the wall a little bit. Might keep that tire out of the hole. Like that. Now as you come up, yeah, keep coming. Passenger, there you go. You got 3 big rocks in front of you, so you either need to get your left tire on and go up and then turn hard right once you get past them, or you can turn up and kind of aim to Luke. Now you come to me.
Huh?
You're good. You'll come forward. Yeah. You're just a little bit on the other wrong side. That's okay. Come up and then straighten right out. Little driver. Perfect. A little bit passenger as you're coming off so that the rear doesn't crash off of it. There you go. Nice and slow coming off. Perfect. Passenger. It'll square it up. That looks better up here. Now passenger. Nice. You'll have to go passenger to get on that rock. That's it. Get up past that rock before you turn left so it doesn't dip you out.
Okay.
That's not it. You're okay. There. Keep going. It looks good. It may get bad, but right now it looks okay. You're okay. Keep going. You're fine. You're right on the money. Yeah, just good. Okay, now hard passenger. It's gonna climb this rock. Keep it passenger for a minute. When your rear is up on that rock, then you can turn left. Perfect. Find a hard passenger there. And you're gonna get your front tire come up on this rock, and this one will already be climbed. So far, nope, your differential hung up.
I was gonna say, I can't see that rock.
So driver and back up about a foot. That should be good there. Now hard passenger and forward, you should be able to make it up. Looks good. Nice. Keep going forward.
Okay.
Just drive however you want to get your rear tire on the top of that rock where your front is. So you'll want to keep going straight forward. The reason you want to do that is you need to get past the one that'll catch your differential. Nice. Now you can turn driver or whatever you want to do. See where it gets stuck. She's in a bad, well, it's gonna go up, but she's way too far to the left.
This was my biggest fear. Did you step in the mud?
No, that was me. gas though.
Huh?
We're still on the gas now. Ooh, one shot does it again.
Nice.
A little more forward. Just turn to the right and go up. Ladies' Day was a success.